head is removed, and pretty soon we're gonna find out what's going on with that lifter. That would be like actually fourth one. That's intake on the cylinder number 4. There's the head, my rocker arms, and push rods. So, these are my AFM push rods. This is the exhaust, this is the one that was causing the problem. There you go. Yep, it's collapsed. Yeah, this is what's supposed to be. Alright. The main thing is that roller is still okay, meaning that the camshaft is not damaged. So yeah. Okay, we're good. Cylinder head is clean, ready for installation. Engine block is done as well, and I'm going to start putting the lifters. I need to find the torque spec for these bolts. We have a new lifters made in USA. This is a part number JB-7011 from AutoZone. It's made in US, should be fine. The torque spec for these bolts is 106 inch-pounds. And then we're gonna get that first set of lifters nicely oiled, and we're gonna place to make sure that all the rollers are supposed to be oriented in this direction. You can't make mistake, they only fit one way anyway, so now we're gonna slowly lower it down like so, nice and easy. Make sure everything is clean. I did oil also the camshaft, and then put the bolt in. This is an 8mm, and we're going to do the same on the other one, same procedure, nothing different. And make sure you blow your holes and make sure you got no fluid in it or anything like that. And 106 inch-pounds, and it's actually numbered. It's 10mm. I'm sorry. All right, 108. That's fine. And I'm gonna do the other one same way, and then we're gonna put the head gasket on. Hundred and 6 inch-pounds again. 105. fine. Okay. Next I'm going to use the rubbing alcohol. I'm going to clean up the surface on the engine block and the cylinder head, and then we're going to install the head gasket. But now I already blew all these holes. There's no more moisture and water in it, and then we're going to set our head and torque it down. Okay, clean gloves, clean rag. Going to wipe all the surfaces. I don't want to touch pistons. I put some oil on it. I just want to clean up the surface where head gasket is going to set. I already did the cylinder head. I don't want to use too much of the alcohol either, because now with the coronavirus this is like gold. This should be okay. Everything's nice and clean. And I'm going to put the gasket on next. This is a Felpro gasket. Again, I don't want to touch the surface. I'm just going to kind of hold it like this. This one is marked as front. It doesn't say, you know, up and down, just front. And I'm going to lay this down. That should be it. I'm going to lay down these guides, and I mean, that's pretty much all we need to do. Now we can set our cylinder head and then start putting our bolts in. Try not to touch the bottom of it as best as I can. I'm gonna slide it over these guides. That should fit in. There you go. That side. And the other side is in. Nice. I'm gonna start setting our bolts in. It's much easier when the exhaust manifold is removed. The head is lighter and it's not as bulky. And all right. Now the head bolts, they have to be new because they cannot be reused. They yield to torque, and you gotta get new ones. I've got one from Felpro. They are made in USA. Hopefully they're going to be a good one. I'm installing the head bolts. Now they have a thread lock on it, and you know, in some other instance you would actually, I like to oil the bolts, but these have a thread lock, so you don't need to. Just recently I've got a Matco digital torque wrench up to 250 pounds. It actually has the angle meter on it, which is very nice. The snap-on that I have, it does not. The one, I think like the smaller one has it, 3/8, but not a 1/2 inch one, so that would be nice since I'm going to need it. So I'm going to just use a ratchet, just going to drive him down, and then we're going to start. Now here's the way we're going to torque him down. Going to 1 to 10. There's going to be these big bolts, and then from 11 to 15s is going to be the row, these small ones. And we're going to tighten these 1 to 10 up to 30 foot-pounds, then additional 90 degrees, and then additional 70 degrees. And after we do that, then we're just going to finish these 5 bolts, the small ones, M8 up to a 30 foot-pounds. And let's see, to 30. 30 Newton meters. That's, yeah, up to actually 22 foot-pounds. I'm sorry. And the big ones, the M11, no, 30 foot-pounds, 22 foot-pounds. 22 foot-pounds, and then 90 degrees, and then 70 degrees. I printed out 3 of these pages, and the first one is going to be 22 foot-pounds. So every time I torque the bolt, I'm going to mark it off until I'm done. Once I'm done with this page, I'm going to go to next one. Alright, I'm going to start with number 1. And you turn on the torque wrench first. 22 foot-pounds. And I did use the air ratchet just to drive it down a little bit. Be quicker. Alright, so I'm going to leave my torque wrench on this bolt, and I'm marking off number 1. I'm going to number 2. Okay. Number 2 is done. Going to number 3. Number 3 is done. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7 is all the way in the back. I may have to change to a longer 15 socket. Okay, number 7. Let's see if we can get this guy again. Number 8. Okay. Now my back started to hurt. Oh boy. I like this method because now, I have to change the socket from long to short and extension, all that. So now I know exactly where did I stop, and you can see everything is marked off. My number 9 is next, and then number 10. Okay. But this whole time I'm holding my ratchet on this on the bolt that I just finished before I marked it on my page. And the last one, number 10. Okay. And all right. This one is done. Step 1 is done. I can take this out. The next step is going to be a the same bolts. So I had bolts 1 to 10, the second pass in sequence C to 90 degrees. Alright, and so this is going to be my page that I'm going to complete that pass. And I'm going to write it down 90 degrees. Do the same thing. Now I'm going to use my half-inch torque wrench for that. I'm going to be using my Matco digital torque wrench. I don't see the number on it. This one actually, I got it pretty cheap on eBay. The bottom pass, the nut was broken and it would no longer work, so I was able to kind of fix it up and it works fine now. Now we're gonna put it flat and change it to our angle. Okay, so I'm just going to lay down flat for the torque wrench to calibrate itself. Now it's set to a 45 degrees and we're going to change that to 90. We're at the 90 degrees. And so nice thing about this one, I can keep ratcheting, and it will remember the angle that I applied to my bolt until I get to the correct to the final angle that I need to achieve. And let's go get the 15 socket. I got my marker, and we're gonna start with number 1. Okay, and at 91 degrees. Alright, so I'm going to mark number 1. Let's go to number 2. Okay, 89, that's fine. Number 2. Number 3. All right. It actually gives you, it's 43 foot-pounds. Okay. All right, so this is number 3. And then number 4. That's this one here. Okay. So we are on number 4. Go to a number 5. Okay. Number 5. Going down to number 6. Okay, number 6. I'm going to go down to number 7, which is all the way up to the firewall. I'm going to change it to my long 15. Okay. That will be number 7. Go to number 8. Change it. This is what, you know, when you doing this, you have to change your sockets, and then you get your eyes off of the head, and next thing you know, you forgot what was the last bolt that you finished. Now, this way, you're no guessing. Okay, that will be number 8. Go to number 9. Okay. And the number 10. These torque wrenches, they're so nice. Alright, so second pass is done. We are at 70 degrees, and let's do the first one. Okay, number 1 is done. Number 2. Okay. Number 3. Number 4. 5. 6. 7, I have to change my socket. Eight. 10. Alright guys, I'm done with that. Number 11. And 15. Since I have to use a long extension, I actually added, I set it up to a 24 foot-pounds. Just kind of. All right, that's done. Next I'm going to install my push rods and rocker arms, and then I need to find the torque spec for the rocker arms. Torque spec for the rocker arm bolts at 22 foot-pounds as well. Before you put your push rods, inspect the push rods, lubricate it, make sure they're not bent, inspect each end, and put your rocker arms in the same way they took it out, same as the push rods. And okay, so go to 22 foot-pounds. I'm just going to go from the middle out, and then we're going to turn the engine 360 degrees, full turn, and retorque it again to 22 foot-pounds. Make sure that your push rod fits into the rocker arm. Hand tight a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. get 8mm, that would be better. Oh, now we gotta turn it on. Got 9mm socket instead of 8. Alright, let's do this again. When I turn the engine 360 degrees, we torque it back to 22 foot-pounds. And that's it. I start putting the Afn Assembly, the hydraulic part in it with the solenoids and all that, and then intake and exhaust manifold, and we're downhill slide. Torque spec for the rocker arm bolts at 22 foot-pounds as well. Before you put your push rods, inspect the push rods, lubricate it, make sure they're not bent, inspect each end, and put your rocker arms in the same way they took it out, same as the push rods. And okay, so go to 22 foot-pounds. I'm just going to go from the middle out. And then we're going to turn the engine 360 degrees, full turn, and retorque it again to 22 foot-pounds. Make sure that your push rod fits into the rocker arm. Hand tight a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. in. If I get 8mm, that would be better. Nope, now we gotta turn it on. Got 9mm socket instead of 8. Alright, let's do this again. This is your Afn Assembly. These are solenoids and oil passageways. I'm going to reuse the gasket. I got it wiped off and looks okay. This is your oil filter, and this is going to be your connector for this assembly. And your harness is in the back. Down. So that's your oil filter. These bolts, they have these rubber bushings. When you take them out, some of them will actually come out, some of them is going to stay inside this plate, so make sure you don't double it. Like this hole here has already on it, so just to make sure you don't double that plastic insert. I'm going to find out the torque specs and all that, and torque this down. Overall, it's not a bad job, and these push-out engines are easy to work on. You don't have to mess around with the timing or anything like that. Your timing chain is going to stay the same. And It is a big job, of course, but it's not that complicated. These bolts will be torqued down to 18 foot-pounds. I could not find a sequency, but we're just gonna go from the middle and cross it. Whatever. So there you go. 18 here. Okay, so I'm just going to go now, check each one. It's done. Next I'm going to install the spark plugs and cover. Now at this point we could technically check the cylinder number 2 for compression and all that, but I think it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep going and put everything back together and start it up and see what happens.